Hey music fans, and welcome back to SoundLab Studios. Today I'm starting a really cool project. This is a project that involves my record collection. I'm going to start out by making this video these videos to showcase my entire record collection since it's been almost a year since I showed it off last time. This is also a kickstart to a new video series where I'm going to go back and listen again to every record in my collection, give each of them a ranking, and then create a new top 100 favorite albums list based on what's in my collection. So I'm excited to go ahead and talk about my record collection again. I get to see a lot of new records that I've gotten since last year, including some 80s stuff more recently. So I'm excited to go through. This is going to be alphabetically. This is the first video in the series. I'm going to split up into 4. This first video is going to be Bryan Adams to Chicago. Is going to be for this first video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started here with A. Bryan Adams, Reckless is the first record in the collection. Where A. This contains, listening to a lot of 80s albums recently, so this is one I listened to for 1984. This contains 3 huge hits: Run to You, Summer of '69, and Heaven. But there's some other good stuff on here as well. There's a cool duet with Tina Turner, so yeah, it's a cool record. First one in the collection for A. Next we have Aerosmith, Toys in the Attic. Probably their best record. It's got Sweet Emotion, it's got Walk This Way, some other more underrated stuff like You See Me Crying, No More, No More, Uncle Salty. Yeah, good record. I have 2 copies of. Apparently this is a more current issue of it. The other one was an original. Next we have Rocks, follow-up. It's got Back in the Saddle. Very rockin' record. Good guitar playing from Joe Perry there. Jumping ahead all the way to the 2000s, we got some indie rock with the Arcade Fire Funeral. This is a pretty good record. I really like this. I like The Neighborhood Suite, Wake Up, which was used very efficiently in the film The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Crown of Love. Yeah, really just good vibes on this record. Something to just kind of vibe out to. One of the best records of the 2000s in my opinion. I like that one. We got Asia. This is a prog rock supergroup. Somebody put a weird sticker on it. It says Heat of the Moment on it. Even though a lot of these musicians came from big prog rock bands, the music is very different. It's more just like 80s pop, but it's really good. You got Steve Howe from Yes, Jeff Downes from the Buggles, Carl Palmer from Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and Jeff Wetton from King Crimson. Of course, features the massive hit Heat of the Moment, which that song is amazing. But it's also got some other good stuff. Only Time Will Tell, Soul Survivor, Wildest Dreams. Yeah, really good record. Really good musicianship on that one. I like Asia. And then we have this album here, Along Comes the Association. Yeah, I kind of just bought this because my friends Nick and Jason talked very highly about this band and this album and about the harmonies. This really wasn't my vibe. It's only $3 though. I do kind of like the hit on here. Cherish and Along Comes Mary are the two hits. They're alright, but that wasn't really my vibe. It's only $3 though, so not too much of a blind buy for $3. Here's Bad Company. This is a good album. It's got some great singing from Paul Rodgers. Very good singer. The song Bad Company is my favorite on here. I like the piano. But there's some other good stuff on here. Can't Get Enough, Rocksteady. Seagull, closing song, pretty good. I wasn't too big into this album the first time I listened to it, but it's growing on me. I really need to listen to it more. At first I just kind of liked the title song. Or I guess it's like a triple threat, the song Bad Company by the band Bad Company on the album Bad Company. But the whole record's pretty good. Need to listen to it more. There's a cool gatefold. Yeah, check out. They look like Bad Company. This is The Band. Yes, the name of the band is The Band. And it's their debut album, Music from Big Pink. The cover was done by Bob Dylan. There's the back. This is kind of where Americana gets its start. You got the big hit The Weight on here, but there's some other good stuff like Chest Fever. Oh, I'm gonna have to open the gatefold because the track listing isn't on the back. Oh, Tears of Rage, that's a good one. Caledonia Mission, The Weight. I already talked about The Weight. Take a load off, Fanny. Long Black Veil, it's a fun song. Chest Fever, great song. This Wheel's on Fire and I Shall Be Released. Those two songs were written by Bob Dylan for this album. Bob Dylan kind of helped the band get their start. The band was his backing, literally the band for Bob Dylan. And so he helped them get their start and wrote a couple songs for this record. But it's a great album, great late 60s Americana folk stuff. Okay, now strap yourselves in. We got a long one here. We got the Beach Boys. I've got a lot of them. Alright, starting off with the Beach Boys. I do not have their first album, Surfin' Safari, but I do have Surfin' USA. And then, I don't know if you can see it, but this is an earlier pressing that credits just Brian Wilson for the song Surfin' USA and doesn't mention Chuck Berry on the writing credits. So that's how you know it's a first pressing. Then we got Surfer Girl. Pretty good album. I like this one. I like the song Surfer Girl, In My Room, Little Deuce Coupe, Hawaii. Yeah, pretty good. I like the harmonies. Speaking of Little Deuce Coupe, here's the album. Little Deuce Coupe in the shrink wrap with the sticker that I got for $5. Not my favorite Beach Boys album, but it's cool to have in the collection because it's got Be True to Your School on there. All of the other really big songs are available on other albums though. It's kind of an early concept record. It's all about cars. I don't know, I don't really like the Beach Boys as much when they're singing about cars, but that's just me. Here's another car album, Shut Down Volume 2. Yeah, they went through this phase where they stopped singing about surfing and they started singing about cars instead. But there's a good song on here with Don't Worry Baby. I love Don't Worry Baby. It's kind of got an old school soul kind of sound to it. Fun, 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 till your daddy takes the T-bird away. Warmth of the Sun. Keep an Eye on Summer. Pretty good cover of Kingsman's Louie Louie on here too. So yeah, I like this record. Brian Wilson is a genius, so all of his production, all really good. This is the first really good Beach Boys record all summer long. It's a misprint. It says, don't back, or what is it? Don't break down instead of don't back down. Yeah, it calls the song Don't Back Down, Don't Break Down. This has the huge hit I Get Around on it. And this is a good summer vibes album. Girls on the Beach, Little Honda Will Run Away. Yeah, Wendy, it's a good album. And then we got the Beach Boys Christmas album with Little Saint Nick. Always fun to play at Christmas time. Great harmonies. This is kind of when they started moving away from the Wilson's father and kind of started getting creative control of the band. We got the Beach Boys Today. This is kind of when their sound starts to mature. This has got When I Grew Up to Be a Man on it. The B-side of this is just so underrated. Do You Want to Dance? Oh, that's on the first side though. B-side is Please Let Me Wonder, I'm So Young, Kiss Me Baby, She Knows Me Too Well, In the Back of My Mind. Yeah, really good. You can really see where they're going with, or where they're going to be going with to Pet Sounds on this one. Dance, 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 Help Me Rhonda, Good to My Baby, yeah, really good. Kind of, you can hear the Phil Spector influence start to creep in on this one. Summer Days and Summer Nights. That previous album Today didn't do as well because people missed the Fun in the Sun lyrics. So they continued their mature music style that they had on the last album, but they kind of went back lyrically to the Fun in the Sun surfing stuff. California Girls is on this record. Salt Lake City, Girl Don't Tell Me, Help Me Rhonda, the second version. Let Him Run Wild. Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. Not as good as Today, but still good stuff. And here's the big one, just turned, oh my gosh, this has turned 60. Pet Sounds, this is an original copy. I was so excited whenever I found it. Great record, one of the best of all time. Wouldn't It Be Nice, God Only Knows, Sleep John B, You Still Believe in Me. I just wasn't made for these times. Yeah, this really just shows the genius of Brian Wilson fully on display. It's a great album. Some of the best harmonies you'll ever hear. The next one is not an old Beach Boys record. It's a newer Beach Boys record, but it should have been an older Beach Boys record. This is Smile, or the Smile Sessions. Famous unreleased album. Brian Wilson ended up abandoning it and making this record instead. I'm going to talk about these two at the same time. Smiley Smile, which I think this one is a little more of a rare copy because it's on the Rainbow label rather than the Brother label. But this is the record we should have got, and this is the record we got. This one's more lo-fi. This one sounds more like an actual spiritual successor to Pet Sounds. Of course, Smile, the actual album, wasn't released till 2011, so sad story there. We got Wild Honey. It's like a psychedelic soul album. Features Carl Wilson pretty prominently. Big hit Darlin' on there. Pretty good. We got Friends. I don't really listen to this album very much. It's a vibe, but I need to give it more of a chance. The album with the best vision, 2020. Pretty good. We got Do It Again, I Can Hear Music. And the one song called Never Learn Not to Love, If You Know, You Know, who wrote that song. But yeah, pretty good stuff. Sunflower, pretty underrated here in the US, big in the UK. It's got Forever. Each of the Beach Boys kind of gets to write a song on this record, and it's you just feel happy when you're listening to this one. We got Not Don't Go Near the Water. That's the first song on this one. Surf's Up is the name of the record. Don't Go Near the Water is the first song on Surf's Up. But this is probably the most political the Beach Boys ever got, talking about water pollution. Long Promised Road is awesome. Take a Load Off Your Feet sucks, but the rest of the album is good. Disney Girls, Bruce Johnston gets to write a song there. Feel Flows, really cool psychedelic number. The last three songs are kind of what's the best part of this record. Day in the Life of the Tree, Till I Die, and the title song, Surf's Up. Yeah, great stuff. The title song should have been on Smile. Smile outtake. We got Holland. Very different sounding Beach Boys. Mike Love actually writes something that's experimental for once. The California Saga. And then here's what the actual picture is, but they turned it upside down. This does not have the Magic Transistor Radio EP, so it's just the album. And then the most recent Beach Boys release I have is their last album, That's Why God Made the Radio. Pretty good album to close out on. Not one of their best, but it's a lot better than Summer in Paradise. A lot better than Summer in Paradise. Alright, now we're going to move to my favorite band of all time, the Beatles. We're going to start with Please Please Me. This is a UK early pressing. Not the first pressing though. As you can see, it's on that yellow black label. The first pressings are on the gold label. Still, that record is in really good condition for being as old as it is. We got With the Beatles. This is like a 70s or 80s UK reissue on the that silver label. Not one of my favorite Beatles records, but it's got some good stuff on it. It Won't Be Long, All My Lovin', All I've Got to Do. Pretty good cover of Please Mr. Postman on here. Not a Second Time. All the With the Beatles stuff I actually like better on this album, Meet the Beatles. This is one of the new reissues they just came out with, that they actually use the original tapes, so I thought that was cool and decided to pick up a copy of it. I like this better than With the Beatles, because it's got I Want to Hold Your Hand on there, and it's a much better album than With the Beatles. The flow works a lot better. Now we got the Beatles' second album, another US album. It's got some stuff from With the Beatles and some stuff that would be released on A Hard Day's Night. Very good, just like old school rock and roll record. Roll Over Beethoven, Really Got a Hold on Me. Can't do that. Oh, this one has I Call Your Name. That's not on any of their UK studio albums, so. Oh, and She Loves You. Yeah, that's two reasons to get this record. Is it's got She Loves You and it's got I Call Your Name. Those aren't on any other UK albums, so. And then we have the Beatles' Hard Day's Night. First all original Lennon and McCartney tracks album. Love this one. Hard Day's Night is great. Should have known better if I fell. Can't Buy Me Love. Anytime at All. Cry Instead. I'll Be Back. Can't do that. Yeah. Good stuff. Beatlemania at its highest point. And we got Beatles for Sale. This is another reissue. All the others I've been showing are earlier pressings. It's another reissue. It's one of my least favorite Beatles albums, so that's probably why I don't buy a earlier copy. But 8 Days a Week is pretty good. No Reply, I'm a Loser, Babies in Black, those are good. But then you also have stuff like Honey Don't. Not too big on that song. Where Everybody's Trying to Be My Baby. Nah, not Mr. Moonlight. Yeah, not some of their best moments. We have Help. Great album. We got Yesterday. Ticket to Ride. You Gotta Hide Your Love Away. I've Just Seen a Face. Yeah, great stuff. That's an early copy. We got Rubber Soul. This is where everything kind of changes. There's where you can see the actual picture. Everything kind of changes with this record here. Here's the back. Kind of changing, being more experimental on this record. You got Drive My Car, You Won't See Me, Norwegian Wood, Nowhere Man, Michelle, Girl, I'm Looking Through You, In My Life. So good. Yeah. Fantastic record. This is kind of the Beatles doing folk rock, and they do it very well. And now we've got Yesterday and Today. This is not a Butcher cover, but it is an earlier mono release. I really like this US album. It's probably my favorite US album that's not Magical Mystery Tour, because it's got It's got Day Tripper and We Can Work It Out on it, which are two of my favorite Beatles songs, and they're not on any of the UK albums, so it's cool to have an album that has that, and Yesterday, and Your Bird Can Sing, and If I Needed Someone, and Drive My Car, and Nowhere Man. Yeah, all good stuff on this record. I like this one. We got a Revolver, earlier UK copy. This is where they really get experimental. Stuff like Taxman, Eleanor Rigby, Tomorrow Never Knows is an out there song, Dr. Robert, For No One, probably the most underrated song on this record. Of course, you got Yellow Submarine. Great experimental record. And here's the big one, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Love this album. Very just kind of changing the tide with the culture shift in music. Sgt. Pepper's, Little Help from My Friends, Lucy in the Sky, Day in the Life, When I'm 64. All good stuff here. This is an early UK copy. This is probably my favorite record in my whole collection. I don't know if it's like my favorite album of all time, but like the fact that I have an early UK copy of this album is just, it feels like I'm holding a piece of history there. And now we got a Magical Mystery Tour. This is another early mono copy. It's got Strawberry Fields Forever and Penny Lane, which are just two of the best songs ever. I'm the Walrus, Fool on the Hill, Hello Goodbye, All You Need Is Love. Fantastic stuff. We got the White Album. I do have the photos that are hanging up on my wall over there. This is, I think it's a 70s UK reissue. It's not an original or earlier copy, but it's in really good condition. Sounds really good. Love this album. So experimental. Every song just sounds so different. Man, where do I even start with this one? Back in the USSR, Helter Skelter, Blackbird, While My Guitar Gently Weeps. Like, just some of the greatest songs of all time on this album, and because it's a double album, it leaves them room to experiment a lot, and so you kind of never know where they're going to go with this one. Alright, now we got the Yellow Submarine soundtrack. Probably my least favorite of the Beatles albums in my collection, but it's got Hey Bulldog, so that's good enough for me. This is probably my favorite album of all time, but we'll see when I redo my listening project. Abbey Road. The B-side medley is just fantastic on this album. We also got Here Comes the Sun, Come Together, Something, Octopus's Garden, and the end with Golden Slumbers, Carry That Weight in the end is just so good. Love this record. Oh, and Oh Darling. I like that one. Now we have a Paul McCartney solo album. So one thing you're going to notice in these videos is that I like to group in solo records with their respective bands. So you're going to see Paul McCartney, John Lennon, George Harrison, Ringo Starr solo stuff in with the Beatles. You'll see Phil Collins solo stuff with Genesis, and so on and so forth. McCartney. This is kind of a more experimental record. It's been a long time since I've heard it. So doing this project, I'm looking forward to re-listening to this so that I can get a better picture of what this album sounds like. I only kind of remember, I mean, obviously Maybe I'm Amazed is a great song. Oh, and Junk. I like Junk as well. It's a cool song. All the other stuff, I remember it's experimental, but and very lo-fi, but I can't remember much of it. So I'll have to give this one a listen again. But I remember Maybe I'm Amazed and Junk are just really good stuff. We got Let It Be. Last Beatles album. I love this one. Long and Winding Road. Let It Be. Across the Universe. Get Back. I've Got a Feeling. I Me Mine. I mean, you can just blind pick any song on a Beatles album and it's probably going to be a masterpiece. So this, I've heard a lot of people don't like this album, and I'm really sad about it because, like, this is just good stuff in my opinion. Good one to go out on. And I like the Let It Be movie. I'm glad that they finally released that on Disney Plus, and I finally got to see it. Got another Paul solo record. This is Ram. Another record I'll need to listen to again. I don't remember a whole lot. I remember Uncle Albert is a cool song. And what's the one? Smile Away. Man, I could smell your feet from a mile away. Yeah, I remember those. And Monkberry Moondelight. I remember that. But I'm going to have to give this record another listen. I remember it's good, but have to give it another try. Here's our first solo record from Lennon, Plastic Ono Band. And this, see, this is the John Lennon one. This is not the Yoko Ono one. I knew what I was buying. If you don't know, Yoko Ono released an album with the exact same cover, and some people thought it was John's album. This is okay. Well, there's some really good stuff on here, but it's not one of my favorite solo Beatles albums. I like Imagine a lot better. Mother, I really like that one. Hold On is good. Working Class Hero and Isolation are great. Love. Yeah, those are good songs, but some of the other stuff is just, I don't know, I don't like it as much. I feel like Imagine is a much better record, and we'll get to that one in just a minute. Then we got George, All Things Must Pass. I'm not going to open this up because it's like a 3-record set with a poster inside and a bunch of other stuff, but really cool that I found it because it's kind of usually expensive. Wasn't actually that much if I remember correctly. Great album. My Sweet Lord is on here. That's a great song. What is Life? Isn't It a Pity? Yeah, really, really good George Harrison album. Here's another. Wait. I think this one's supposed to go first. There's Imagine. Yeah, much better than Plastic Ono Band. I don't like that they don't put the track listing on the back. I've got to look at the record. Crippled Inside, Jealous Guy, really good. Give Me Some Truth, probably the best song on the album. How Do You Sleep? Oh My Love, oh that's a really good. How, yeah, really good stuff on here. I'm gonna have to give this one another listen. It's been a while since I've heard it. I remember I liked it much better than the Plastic Ono Band. Here's my favorite Beatles solo album, Band on the Run. Great stuff here. Band on the Run is like 3 different songs in one. Jet, I love Jet. Love the saxophones. Let Me Roll It To You. Pneumonia. Hell on Wheels. 1985. Great stuff on this one. And Christopher Lee is on the front. See if you can find him. Alright, well, we got a Ringo album. I'm definitely excited about listening to this one because I haven't heard it all the way through. But I know Photograph is on here, and that's one of his big songs. I'm the Greatest, I remember that song. It was written by John Lennon. Hold On, it's written by Randy Newman? There's a Randy Newman song on here? Yeah, there's Photograph. Yeah, I'm gonna have to give this one another listen. I remember listening to half of it, I think. So. Well, we got the Beatles Red Album. Good for getting a lot of the singles that aren't on the albums. I actually got this before a lot of the Beatles' actual albums. And, of course, if you have the Red Album, you have to get the Blue Album to go with it. I don't really listen to them very much, though. If I'm going to try to listen to the non-album singles, we'll show that in a minute. Venus and Mars Are Alright Tonight by Wings. I recently listened to this for the first time, and I thought it was pretty good. Magneto and Titanium Man was probably my favorite song on here. Rock Show is good. Listen to What the Man Said, that's a good song too. Pretty good. Surprised I've never heard it before. It's kind of a fun listen. Here's one I've never heard. London Town. I'll have to listen to that one too. Let's see if I know anything on here. Do I really not know any of these songs? Oh, Girlfriend. I know that because Michael Jackson covered it on Off the Wall. But other than that, I don't know any songs on this record, so we'll have to listen to it. Here's an album I've never made it all the way through. McCartney 2. Now that I've listened to more 80s new wave, I feel like this album should make a lot more sense. The first time I did a record video, I said this album was crap, but I never really gave it a fair chance, so I have to listen to it again. I will say Temporary Secretary is growing on me. I thought that was the weirdest thing I'd ever heard the first time, but it's actually a bop. Very weird, but it's fun. And we're going to jump way ahead to the late 80s with Cloud 9 by George Harrison. This is produced by Jeff Lynne, and that's kind of what started the Traveling Wilburys, which we'll get to later on in my collection. But this has I've Got My Mind Set on You and When We Was Fab. Those are the two hits on here. I'm gonna have to give this one another listen. It's been a while since I've heard it, but I remember it being pretty good. Of course, Got My Mind Set on You is a great song. Yeah, if I'm gonna listen to the Beatles non-album singles, this is what I'm gonna listen to. Past Masters. It's got all the singles. It's got, you know, Revolution, Hey Jude, Day Tripper, We Can Work It Out, Paperback Writer, I Wanna Hold Your Hand, She Loves You, stuff like that. Here we have McCartney 3. This is an exclusive red record version. I'm gonna have to be very careful if I'm not gonna take it out. I pretty much bought this just so I can resell it in like 20 years for a bunch of money. It's number 307 out of 3,000. So a pretty low number. If it's anything like the White Album, I'm gonna get a lot of money off of this eventually. And then here's my listening copy of McCartney 3, even though I don't really like this album. I don't know why I bought 2 copies of it. I left both of them in the shrink at least. Slidin' is a decent song. And then here's something I was really excited about. The Beatles released a song in my lifetime. Now and Then. This is the 12-inch version. I've got the small 45 as well. Really good. I need to get Free as a Bird and Real Love. I know they have those as well as singles. I was just excited that I was going to get to buy something the Beatles released in my lifetime. That is never going to happen again. So I bought it twice. I'll show that later with my singles. Alright, that's the first cube. So we're halfway done with this first video. Okay, now we're on the second cube. We're going to start after the Beatles with Boston by Boston. If you just watch my 1976 top 10 on Jason's channel, you know this was my favorite album of 76. Love this record. More Than a Feeling, Peace of Mind, Rock and Roll Band, Smokin', Hitch a Ride, great stuff. We got their second album, Don't Look Back. Not as good as the debut, but there's some good stuff on here. I Love a Man I'll Never Be, that's a great song. Then we got the Bee Gees, with Bee Gees First. The sleeve is wrong. So it's a mono record, but it came in a stereo sleeve. This is a very different Bee Gees than you probably know. It's more like psychedelic pop. Some good stuff on here. Turn of the Century is good. Cucumber Castle. I need to give this one another listen. It's been a while since I've heard it. We got another early Bee Gees record with Idea. This has the big hit I Started a Joke. It's also got I've Got to Get a Message to You. Pretty good. Still got the shrink wrap on it too. Then we got a Main Course. Pretty good record. This is kind of when the Bee Gees start getting more disco. It's got Nights on Broadway, which is a great song. Jive Talkin', Fanny, Be Tender With My Love. Yeah, great stuff on this one. And here's where the Bee Gees really go disco. This was released after Saturday Night Fever, which I do not have. This is Spirits Having Flown. Tragedy, Too Much Heaven. Yeah, great stuff on this one. Definitely very disco at that point. Then we got Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Very similar to Chicago, which we're going to talk a lot about Chicago later. Pretty good. It's a rock band with horns. I feel like Chicago does it a little bit better, but we're jumping way ahead all the way to the 2010s with Brothers by the Black Keys. This is a fun album. It's got an old school feel to it, and throwback. It's recorded in the Muscle Shoals Studios. Very famous recording studio. Yeah, Tighten Up and Howlin' For You are the two big hits on here, but everything's pretty good. 10 Cent Pistol, Never Gonna Give You Up, Everlasting Light, Next Girl. Good stuff. I like this. Very, very chill, vibey album. We got Bon Jovi. This is a debut album called Bon Jovi. I actually just bought this the other day. And this has their hit Runaway on it. Pretty good. Now this is the big one for Bon Jovi. Slippery When Wet. Very great album. It's got 3 massive singles on it. You Give Love a Bad Name, Living on a Prayer, and Wanted Dead or Alive. Let It Rock is a great song. Raise Your Hands. Never Say Goodbye. Wild in the Streets, I'd Die for You. Good stuff on this record. This Bon Jovi. Now we got David Bowie. Starting out with Space Oddity. Ground Control to Major Tom. Ground Control to Major Tom. It's a great album. Folk rock. Of course, the title song, Space Oddity. Great song. A lot of underrated stuff on here, like Janine, Wild-Eyed Boy from Free Cloud, Occasional Dream, Signet Committee, Letter to Hermione. Yeah, very chill, atmospheric record here. I will say, don't expect every song to sound like Space Oddity, because if you go in thinking that, you'll be disappointed. But if you go in just thinking it's going to be a fun folk rock album that happens to include Space Oddity, then I think you'll like it. We got The Man Who Sold the World by David Bowie again. No, this is not actually a legit first pressing of this record. This is a bootleg that I bought just because I wanted to have the funny cowboy cover instead of the later pressing where it's the Ziggy Stardust cover. This is very heavy for the time. Almost like Black Sabbath level heavy. All the Mad Men, Black Country Rock, Superman, Width of a Circle, After All, Savior Machine, and then of course title song Man Who Sold the World, later very famously covered by Nirvana on their MTV Unplugged album, which we will see that album later on. But pretty good. That's one thing that's great about David Bowie, is that he's always changing. He always turns and faces the strange changes. Every one of his records sounds different. He goes from hard rock to singer-songwriter on this record here. Hunky Dory. And this album has Changes, Oh You Pretty Things, Life on Mars. The piano player on this album is Rick Wakeman from Yes, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, very just great singer-songwriter type stuff on this record. And then he changes again. It's probably his most famous The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust. His biggest record. 5 years, Moon Age Daydream, Starman. Oh, Starman is so catchy. Hang On to Yourself, Ziggy Stardust. Suffragette City, great hard rockin' song. Yeah, good stuff on this. Great 70s rock album. He follows that up with Aladdin Sane. Very famous album cover. And, of course, this has the Genie. Very famous song from him. This one's kind of underrated. I like a lot of the deep cuts on here. Watch That Man is good. Drive-In Saturday. Panic in Detroit. Lady Grinning Soul. Yeah. Some good stuff here. Not as good as Ziggy Stardust, but a lot of underrated stuff on that one. And then he changes again with Young Americans. This is like a soul album. This has the big hit Fame, co-written by John Lennon. Yeah, this is a very different album. Very different vibe, but very fun. Next we have Station to Station. This is the Thin White Duke album. It has the big hit Golden Years. He doesn't really remember making this album. Stay away from Coke, kids. Word on a Wing, Stay. Pretty good stuff on here. And now we got the Berlin Trilogy, Low. We start getting some really experimental stuff on this record. I want to give this album another listen. I didn't think a whole lot of it other than, like, there's a few songs I like here. Sound and Vision is good, but if I give this record more listens, I'll probably like it more. Of the Berlin Trilogy, this is the one that I really like. Heroes. Heroes, the song, might be my favorite song by him. There's some other good stuff on here. Sons of the Silent Age. It's a very underrated song. Blackout, just great. Joe the Lion, very funny. And then the atmospheric stuff on the B-side, the kind of more ambient stuff is pretty cool. This is definitely my least favorite of his Berlin Trilogy, Lodger. Like, there's some good stuff on it, but nothing that really stands out too much. Like, hey, what's even on this record? Let's see. Do I even remember any of this? Fantastic Voyage, African Night Flight, Red Sails. Look Back in Anger, Boys Keep Swinging, I think was a single. I remember practically nothing of this record, so gonna have to give that one another listen. Oh, it's $5. No wonder I bought this. I wanted to complete the Berlin Trilogy for $5. It'll be fun to give that another listen. I do not have Scary Monsters, unfortunately. That's the album by him I want the most. That I don't have. But we do have this one, Let's Dance, produced by Nile Rodgers, featuring the late great Stevie Ray Vaughan on guitar. This one's got some genuine bona fide classics on it. Let's Dance, China Girl, Modern Love, Cat People, good record. And here we have another more modern album. You'll see a lot of those in my collection now. This is Grace by Jeff Buckley. Great singer-songwriter from the 90s. Very just atmospheric stuff. Lover You Should Have Come Over is fantastic. Good cover of Hallelujah. So Real. Lilac Wine, yeah. Grace, the song. I need to listen to this more. It's a fantastic record, but I've only heard it like twice. I bought it because he just got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And then we've got Buffalo Springfield. I have 2 copies of this record. This one does not have For What It's Worth on it. This is the earlier pressing. I bought it more for collecting purposes. And this is my listening copy with For What It's Worth. The hype sticker that says it's got For What It's Worth on it. My preferred way to listen to this album. It just does not sound like the album without For What It's Worth. Very huge song. Very iconic song of the 60s. Now we got the Byrds, another very iconic 60s band. And another member of Crosby, Stills, and Nash started in this band. Mr. Tambourine Man, written by Bob Dylan. It's great. This is their debut. Called Mr. Tambourine Man. Feel a Whole Lot Better. It's really good. Spanish Harlem Incident. Bells of Rhymney. Chimes of Freedom. Don't Doubt Yourself, Babe. Some good Bob Dylan covers on here. All I Really Want to Do. Mr. Tambourine Man. I like the jangly guitars on this record. Good folk rock stuff. And then their second album, Turn, Turn, Turn. It's kind of more of the same. Great jangle pop, if you would call it that. I love the single Turn, Turn, Turn on here. Pretty good cover of Bob Dylan, The Times They Are Changing. I'm going to need to listen to this record again, because it's been a while since I've heard this one. In fact, it's been a while since I've heard any Byrds record, so... This one has glitter glue on it. Somebody glued the cover. But this is The Fifth Dimension. This is where the Byrds go psychedelic with 8 Miles High, which that song was actually mentioned in American Pie, the song, by Don McLean. Fifth Dimension, Mr. Spaceman, 8 Miles, yeah. 8 Miles High is kind of the big song on this one. Really out there stuff, especially for the 60s. Younger Than Yesterday, probably my favorite Byrds record. Really good Dylan covers on here. Great cover of My Back Pages. So You Want to Be a Rock and Roll Star, I like that one. Have You Seen Her Face? Yeah, I'm going to have to listen to this Byrds record again. It's been a while since I've heard any of the Byrds albums, so. And then here's the Notorious Byrd Brothers. This is notable because it came out in '68, early '68, but this is a mono copy of it rather than a stereo copy of it, so more rare. What I like about this album is that every song kind of goes into the next one. It's definitely a good listening experience from start to finish. Artificial Energy, that's a fun song. I remember that one. Alright, what do we have now? C. Larry Carlton. Larry Carlton played on a lot of Steely Dan records, so that led me to check out his own records. Great jazz guitarist. Room 335 is on that one, I think. Or is that on this next one? No, that's on the first one. This one is Larry Carlton Strikes Twice. I haven't actually listened to either of these all the way through, so it's on my list of records to listen to through my collection. We got the Carpenters' Christmas Portrait, featuring the big song Merry Christmas, Darling. Fun to play at Christmas time. We got the Cars. This is a great album. Just What I Needed, My Best Friend's Girl. Let the Good Times Roll, Moving in Stereo, All Mixed Up, Bye Bye Love, You're All I've Got Tonight. Yeah, really good stuff. Very ahead of their time, the Cars were. Kind of brought the sound of the 80s 2 years early. And then here's Heartbeat City, another great record with Who's Gonna Drive You Home, Magic, You Might Think. Man, killer record. Love that one. Not as much as the debut, though. I think the debut is still my favorite, but that's my second favorite. Shake It Up. I listened to Shake It Up recently. I need to get that one. That's a good one, too. And we got the Genius, Ray Charles, with modern sounds and country and western music. This is a great album. I'm going to have to re-listen to it again because it's been a long time, but I know it's got You Don't Know Me. That's a big song from him. I'll be excited to listen to this again. Okay, what we got after Ray Charles? Oh! Buckle in, because the rest of this video will be dedicated to Chicago, and there's a lot of them. So we're going to start with the Chicago Transit Authority, their first record. Terry Kath is a killer guitar player, by the way, very underrated. It's got What's the first song? Introduction? That's a killer song. Does anybody really know what time it is? Great song. Question 67 and 68. Only the Beginning. Their cover of I'm a Man is killer. Yeah, love this record. Great debut from them. And then I like their second record even better. This has got 25 or 6 to 4. Oh, it's been so long since I've heard Chicago. I can't wait to listen to them again. Here's the back. Make Me Smile, Color My World. Yeah, this is a great record. This is my favorite Chicago record. Chicago 3, not as big into this one. I like the cover though, and I like the song Free. I like Lowdown, and I like Terry Kath's Hour in the Shower medley. From what I can remember. Maybe I'll re-listen to this and be like, what was I thinking? This is a great record. But I haven't listened to this one as much. I like this one, Chicago 5. Saturday in the Park. Great song. Dialogue. It's great. Hit by Varese. I remember that being good. It's been so long since I've listened to any Chicago. I really need to fix that. Their 6th record, the Money album. Feeling Stronger Every Day. Just You and Me. Those are great songs. We got number 7. This has got I've Been Searching for So Long. Wishing You Were Here. Call on Me. It's a double record. The first record is like more jazz fusion stuff, and then the vocal stuff comes in on like the second half. We got Chicago 8. This one is cool because it's got like this, where is it? It's like an iron-on patch or something. It's pretty cool. It's got Old Days and Harry Truman. Those are good songs. There's a Peter Cetera song, Hideaway, pretty underrated. And Terry Kath's tribute to Jimi Hendrix with Oh Thank You Great Spirit. And we got Chicago's Greatest Hits. Cool cover. Don't really listen to that one because I've got the albums, but cool to have at least. Chicago 10. It's got If You Leave Me Now, which is a great song. Love that song. I love Another Rainy Day in New York City. Scrapbook, You Were on My Mind. Yeah, there's some good stuff on that one. Last one with Terry Kath, number 11. This one's pretty good. Take Me Back to Chicago. Vote for Me is a funny song. Taking It On Uptown. Mississippi Delta Blues. Maybe What a Big Surprise. Yeah, this one's actually pretty good. Gonna have to listen to that one again. Hot Streets, yeah, not as good. I mean, I like Alive Again. I like No Tell Lover. Those are about the only 2 songs I like on here. There's a really embarrassingly bad song with the Bee Gees on here called Little Miss Lovin'. Show Me the Way is terrible. Man. Oh, man. I used to really like Chicago, and I just had to have all their records. That's the only reason why that's in my collection. Oh, this one's even worse. 13. Street Player, awesome song. Killer horn playing. Everything else, trash. So it's worth having this for Street Player, but that's about it. This one has no redeeming qualities. I am dreading having to listen to this again. Terrible. Now, oh wait, we got a Greatest Hits. Greatest Hits 2. There it is. Not much more needs to be said about that one. Okay, here's where they get good again. 16. And the reason they got good is because they completely changed their direction. That old sound just did not work without Terry Kath. Now, What You're Missing, pretty good. Waiting for You to Decide, Bad Advice, Chains. Oh, Hard to Say I'm Sorry. That's a great song. Follow Me, Love Me Tomorrow. Really good. I like this one. I like this one even better. 17. Along Comes a Woman, You're the Inspiration, Hard Habit to Break is awesome. We Can Stop the Hurtin', Stay the Night, Please Hold On. I mean, this is an album exchange pick that we're going to be talking about, so this may ruin my thoughts on it a little, but I love this one. I'm excited to listen to it again. It's been a while since I heard it. Almost done with Chicago in this video. Chicago 18. Yeah, this one, not so much. Not so good. The new singer, Jason Sheff, is pretty good, but the songs just aren't there. Forever is okay. If she would have been faithful is alright. Will You Still Love Me? That's probably the best song on here. The remake of 25 or 6 to 4 is just awful. Just skip that one altogether. It sucks. Yeah, it's I mean, not terrible. It's decent, but this is Chicago we're talking about. Like, they can do so much better. This album is so much better. I think this one's actually pretty good. Been a while since I've heard it, but we'll be excited to hear it again. I know Look Away is a great song. What Kind of Man Would I Be? Yeah, that's another great song. We Can Last Forever. I Don't Want to Live Without Your Love. Yeah, this is actually a pretty good album. Like, not as good as the 70s stuff, not even as good as like the early 80s stuff, but pretty good. Alright, that's the end of this video. Please join in for part 2 whenever we talk about the next 2 cues. Until then, remember that music is art, and art is expression, and we will see you in the next video.